I was to say, Zayd is faster than Khalid. Zayd is faster than Khalid. Superlative, but Ahmad is the fastest. Zayd is faster than Khalid. Ahmad is the fastest. Faster, comparative. Fastest, superlative. You see the difference, everybody? Okay. Akbar is the comparative, not the superlative. So Allahu Akbar doesn't translate to Allah is the greatest. It translates to Allah is greater. But now, to fully understand this example, if I was to say, Zayd is faster than what are you waiting for, everybody? You want me to do what? Continue, finish it. Finish it. Right? Zayd is faster than blank. I left a blank there at the end. I have to put something or someone in that blank.
Everyone else.
Right? But when we say Allahu Akbar, we're saying Allah is greater than blank. And the purpose of that blank, leaving that blank at the end, this is a rhetorical function. This is part of the balagha of classical Arabic. This is very commonly found in the Quran, that when you have a statement that demands an object, that object is intentionally not provided and a blank is left for you there. Very common in the Quran. And the purpose of that blank is that you're supposed to fill in that blank for yourself. You're supposed to fill in that blank for yourself with whatever it is that is distracting you from your salah at that moment. Allahu Akbar, Allah is greater than everything and anything, but the reflection and the thought process at that time is, Allah is greater, Allah is more important than whatever it is that is distracting me from my prayer at this very moment. So if my phone is ringing, Allah is greater, Allah is more important than that phone call. My friend is waiting for me outside in the car, Allah is greater and more important than my friend waiting for me in the car. The restaurant is about to close in 20 minutes, Allah is greater and more important than the food at the restaurant. The game is on the television, Allah is greater and more important than the game on the television. Anything and everything that could be distracting me from my prayer at this very moment, Allah is greater, Allah is more important than nothing. You know, Allahu Akbar, it's like, if you ask somebody, what's the reflection of Allahu Akbar? They'll be like, what do you mean, what's the reflection? Allahu Akbar is Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Yeah. It's a formality of prayer, right? If I was to ask you, what do you think about when you say Allahu Akbar? It's like, what do you mean what I think about when I say it? That's how I start my prayer, Allahu Akbar. Then I try to think about something. SubhanAllah, we're realizing that even Allahu Akbar has a reflection built into it. You're even supposed to think about something while saying Allahu Akbar. There's a focus, there's a khushu' even to Allahu Akbar. The next time you pray, and you stand up and you say Allahu Akbar, and you go through that mental process of Allah is greater, Allah is more important than that thing that's distracting me and that thing that's trying to take my attention away. Allah is more important, Allah is greater than those things. Then see what is the quality of even saying Allahu Akbar, and see how long it takes you to just say Allahu Akbar. It will change your life. It will change your life. And because you guys have been so good to me, alright, you've listened to me ramble for an hour, alright, I'll share one quick little example for you. Literally take 2 minutes of your time. I feel like sharing something extra. Alright? Subhana Rabbiyal A'la. What position do we say this in, everybody? Sujood. How absolutely perfect is my Lord, my Master, who is Al-A'la. Al-A'la is the superlative because of the Al. Al-A'la is a superlative. It means the highest, the most exalted. But now reflect on this fact. Again, typically when we make sujood, what do? Subhanallah, 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 subhanallah. Subhanallah doesn't mean anything. Alright? I think Hafiz Wissam fell down just somewhere. Right? Because of how I just said that. Subhanallah doesn't mean anything. You know, sometimes somebody will come and ask me a question like, You know, how many times can I say Subhana Rabbil A'la? Like 11 times? Can I say it 13 times in my sujood? I'm like, man, you must be in sajda for 3 minutes. If you say it properly. Otherwise you're saying Subhana Rabbil A'la, Subhana Rabbil A'la, Subhana. No. What does it mean? How absolutely perfect is my Lord, my Master, my Rabb, who is the highest, the most exalted. What's the reflection there? What position do we say that in? Everybody just told me. What position, everybody? Sujood. What do we do in sujood? Where do we put our face?
On the ground.
The most respected part of our body, the face. The dignity, the nobility of our body, the face. We put it where? On the ground. Where somebody was standing with their feet, we put it on the ground. That is the lowest position possible for a human being. We put ourselves in the lowest position possible, and we say Allah is the highest, the most exalted. The next time you pray, the next time you make sujood, reflect on that and see what happens in the quality of your sajda. This is just a small sample of what happens when we understand the meaning of what we read and what we say within our prayers. For this purpose, for this reason, there's a course that I teach, a seminar, a course that I teach called Meaningful Prayer, the Linguistic Beauty of Salah. What we do in this course, very simply put, what we just did with Allahu Akbar, what we just did with that one word, Al-A'la, we do that with every single word in the entire salah from beginning to end. From the takbir, Allahu Akbar, the opening supplications, A'udhu Billah, Bismillah, Surah Al-Fatiha, another surah of the Quran, what we say in ruku', what we say in sujood, what do we say when we stand up from the ruku', what do we say in between the sujood, what do we say in the sitting portion of the prayer, the tashahhud, what do we say, even the adhkar and the tasbihat that we make after the prayer, and even extra parts of the prayer like the dua of qunut and the supplication of istikhara. We cover all of it word for word in intricate detail. I know that sounds like a lot and it sounds very ambitious. How do we do that in one weekend? I wouldn't stand here and tell you that we do all of that in one weekend if, alhamdulillah, by the grace and mercy of Allah, I hadn't taught this course more than 40 times across North America. I've actually taught it in Houston before, 2 years ago. So we go through all of that in the weekend, alhamdulillah. And by the end of it, the goal, the objective, and alhamdulillah, from what I've been able to see and what I've experienced myself, the outcome is a drastic increase in the quality, the focus, the khushu within a person's salah, because now they're thinking and reflecting about what they're reading, and that's the essence of khushu. Because now I'm not wondering about the stain on the carpet, now I'm not trying to figure out where they got that from, right? Now I'm not trying to figure out why does the back of his shirt say this, right? Now I'm not worried about those things. Now I'm focusing on what I'm reading and what I'm saying within my prayer. And that's what happens. So we do that in one weekend, inshaAllah. And as a closing note, I always like to pose one question to everybody. And the answer to this question will give you the answer whether or not you have to make some type of an effort to improve the quality and the focus of your prayers. And that is, ask yourself, when is the last time you prayed, or you offered the prayer, or you performed salah? I don't even get what that means, perform salah. Is it like a performance? Like, right? What does that even mean, perform? Right? What is that? Not when is the last time you prayed, or you offered, or you performed the salah. Ask yourself, when is the last time that you experienced salah? That when you prayed, you felt like it changed your life. You felt like it solved your problem. It gave you the answer to your question. When's the last time that happened? If the answer isn't something that's very good, it's not something you like, or you can't even remember the last time that happened, or maybe that's never happened for you, don't you think it's about time we made some drastic, significant improvement in our prayers? We got to. And so the date that I want you to remember, there's a lot of details about the course. There's flyers that they've given out to everyone. There's a lot of details. I just want you to remember one thing. Friday, February the 10th, 7 p.m., Masjid as-Salam. Friday, February 10th, 7 p.m., Masjid as-Salam. Champions Masjid. They call it Champions for a reason. Alright? I've been talking to like some friends and stuff, like, where are you going to be this Friday? I'm going to be at Champions Masjid. They're like, ooh, that's a baller name. I want to name my masjid Champions Masjid. It's like, no, you can't. It's their name. We have a masjid in Dallas that's called Epic Masjid. Wallahi, it's called Epic Masjid. It's the East Plano Islamic Center. Epic. Right? Epic parking. Epic bathrooms. Epic masjid. Everything is epic. Epic imam. Right? It's amazing. Right? And this is the Champions Masjid. Alright? Even though it's been a long time since y'all won a championship. Not gonna go there? Right? But nevertheless, 3 things. Friday, February 10th, 7 p.m. Champions Masjid. Masjid as-Salam. Alright, be here. Now I'd like to leave my focus with all my talks. I taught a khatib workshop a few weeks ago, gave the same advice there. I always like to give some type of a take-home point, some type of an action item at the end of any talk or any discussion. I have a couple of action items for you that you can implement immediately. That date, mark it on your calendar, plan to show up. I'm confident everyone will come back, inshaAllah, and join us. But in the meantime, a couple of action items I got for you. Number 1, if you have every intention to come that weekend, what will show the sincerity in your intention to come that weekend, and a request from me, don't wait for February the 10th to improve your salah. Don't. If you are truly sincere about improving your salah, you will begin tonight. What that means, and I had a discussion with a brother about this earlier, we oftentimes have 2 different extremes. And we react to one extreme with another extreme. One extreme is the way things are right now. We memorize all the du'as and everything we read in the prayer. We have no idea what any of it means. The opposite extreme would be for us to understand every single word in the salah, but not have it memorized. Then what are you going to read? You understand what I'm talking about? If you come to the class and you know the dua of qunut, you understand every single word in the dua of qunut. You could give a lecture on the dua of qunut better than I could. But you don't have the dua memorized. What are you going to read in your salah? What are you going to do for your prayer? You're going to like stand up in prayer and say, oh, there it is. Allahumma inna. What is that? That's not, that. Then again, khushu', that's a reading exercise. It's not khushu'. So one thing I want to ask everyone to do, to prepare yourself to benefit properly from the course, I want you to put time and effort and energy into memorizing all the du'as and the supplications that are read in the prayer, so that when you come here and you receive the meaning, it's the perfect package, it's the perfect combination. That is how we need to approach salah, that is how we should approach the Quran and other things as well. The second action item I have for you, and that is, you plan to come here Friday, February 10th, 7 p.m., Masjid as-Salam, and bring somebody else with you. If you can think of somebody you really truly care about, then you will want them to achieve that same benefit. Spread the word, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors, share the word with somebody else, bring them with you that day, inshaAllah. And what we will do on Friday night is we will go through an in-depth discussion on the meaning of Surah Al-Fatiha in the context of prayer, and how when we read Surah Al-Fatiha in our salah, it is a direct conversation between us and Allah. I've held you guys up long enough. Jazakumullah khairan for your patience and for your attentiveness. I really, truly, honestly appreciate it. Inshallah, I look forward to being back in February. I'm going to give the mic over to the brother, inshallah, and then they have some more details for you, inshallah.
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar! Jazakumullah khair, Shaykh Abdul Nasir. I have 2 quick announcements. If I can have half a minute of yours, I'd really appreciate it. First, I hope every one of you got this flyer. Can raise your hands if you did not get this flyer. Okay, good. There are some flyers outside. Please take one. Okay, if you look at this side of the flyer has 2 things that I'd like to point out. Obviously, it has time and date. But if you want to go online and check out some of the reviews of the other people who have taken this course, it will really motivate you to take this course. Go on meaningfulprayer.bayyina